Hello, welcome to the next podcast here on Non-League Podcast with myself, Lee Simons. I hope you enjoyed the last podcast with Sam Bond from Thetford Town. I've got a new guest with me, another special guest. I've got the Thetford Town manager, Matt Morton, with me today. So, hello, Matt. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Thank you, Lee. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. I'm good. Just trying to keep myself sane with this isolation. And how are you getting on with the isolation at the moment?
Well, I wouldn't say it's my friend, but I am certainly more fortunate than I know other people are. So I will certainly not moan about my predicament. I've got a roof over my head, the sun's shining, I've got a hot tub in the garden, and I've got two other people that live in my house with me at the moment. So I've got company too.
So you're basically sorted for the future, shall we say?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, obviously it affects business, but I am also blessed that the new business startup that I'm in is a technology business.
Oh,
so,
right.
It's less affected by isolation than, I guess, a lot of product businesses or bricks and mortar businesses. So
yeah,
we are very much still all hands to the pump.
Well, that's good for you anyway, because now being in isolation for about a week now, it's not been too bad for me. So we'll just carry on and see how we go, really.
I'm surprised you've only been in it for a week. I think this is my fourth week that's completed now. I think I'm in week 5.
Oh, wow. Same as Bondy then. He's been in there for about 5 weeks now, I think. But yeah, I've only been in...
Well, he should have been in incarceration, not isolation.
Oh, right. Fair enough. No worries. So, just going on about, if people don't know you, Matt, about a little bit of an introduction about yourself and how you got into football and how you got started.
Yeah, well, if this is for people that don't know me, then I get a blank sheet of paper, don't I? Maybe I can be popular for a change. How did I get started? So my dad was a massive football fan. He was a Premier League referee.
Okay, yeah.
From the area, so I grew up within the game, within the professional game actually, but not in the way that some people would have.
Oh,
just
wow.
Because my dad was on the circuit, being a FIFA referee and a Premier League official. So I was fortunate enough growing up as a kid to be taken on a weekly basis to every top tier ground in the country.
Wow.
Meeting managers and players and. I think that's really where my love for the game started.
Wow.
Being born into a football family and having that environment around you on a weekly basis. So he unfortunately was never good enough to play the game at any decent level, so went into refereeing. So
okay,
I would
yeah.
argue that my circumstances were no different, but stubbornness got me to play it anyway.
Well, of course, everyone at some stage would have played football, but for you, with the FA... Premier League referee, which sounds pretty good, really.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like being an 8-year-old boy having 60,000 people call your dad a wanker at the same time.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, point taken. So that got you started into football. Whereabouts did you start playing your football career?
So I started at Bury Town.
Okay.
Right from their first youth level, so I believe it was under 10s. I was a bit of a late starter into the game, so because I was sent to private school when I was a kid.
Right. Okay.
It was a rugby school, and I used to play rugby until I think I was 13 when I gave up.
Okay.
It was never really my passion. I just happened to be blessed with being quite good at it. So I played for East of England, played for the county, but my passion was always football, and I never really got to play it because of the school curriculum.
Oh, right.
But then I started at under 10s because my dad was into it and I was nagging always to play it. He also took me to Bury Town Football Club to join a football team outside of school.
Okay, yeah.
So I was playing rugby Monday to Saturday, and then I was playing football on a Sunday.
Oh, right. Blimey.
And I remember coming up and joining this team, and there was a lot of players in it who I didn't know, and they'd been at Ipswich Academy, Norwich Academy, wherever else, and been playing since they were old enough to walk, and this rugby player came in to join them, and I remember at the beginning thinking, my God, I'm so out of my depth.
Yeah.
I know I would try harder than everybody else, but they were head and shoulders above me.
Right, okay.
And it was a bit of a baptism of fire, to be honest. But after a year of plugging away and being the determined person that I am, and being the worst player in the team, and then under 11s, which is the very next season, so my second year playing, all the way through until adult football, I stayed at Bury Town until under 18s.
Yeah.
And I won Player of the Year every year.
Well, that's amazing, that is.
Yeah, so just through determination. I mean, nothing else. I'm certainly not a naturally gifted football player.
All right. Fair enough. So from Bury Town, under 18s, where did you go after that?
So I actually joined Walsham at 17.
Okay.
And I think I was playing a cup final, because I think from 16 I also played for a Saturday men's side, which some of my friends were playing for.
Okay,
That was in the Bury District Saturday Football League, a team called Rising Sun.
Right.
And we were playing a cup final, and Mike Powles, who's the chairman of Walsham, I think he still is, but he was the vice chairman of the club and the football chairman. I think now is the chairman of the club and not the football chairman. He spotted me playing in that cup final. Went back to the manager, Paul Smith. Paul Smith watched me and then asked me to go over. So from 17, I joined Walsham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Had an appalling disciplinary record. So to cut a long story short, if you think my temper's bad now, you should have seen me at 17, 18.
Right.
And I got sent off 3 times in a row.
Right, okay.
Walsham.
Yeah.
And back then, the bans used to be in stages. So rather than getting a fixed ban of so many games, it would be a day's ban.
Right, okay.
So I got, I think, something like a 14-day ban, then I was back for a week, and then a 21-day ban, and then I would have a 2-week period back in the game, and then I had like another 14-day ban. So basically, it was the chairman rather than the manager actually said to me that they had discussed it and they weren't going to play me at all from when my first ban started until my last ban finished. So even the games I would be available in the middle, they weren't going to disturb the team by putting me back in it.
Right, okay.
And me being me, hot-headed and probably a little bit selfish, decided to leave based on that.
Okay.
Because I would have been not playing for, I think, something like 12 weeks.
Wow.
So I left and just went back to playing with my friends who are a few years older and playing for that Saturday side. And it wasn't for another couple of seasons where I went back and joined Walsham when they were in the Premier Division.
Okay.
I think it was their second season in the Premier Division. I joined back and stayed there for over a decade.
Yeah.
And then at 30 joined Thetford.
Okay, yeah. So who was the actual manager when you joined Thetford Town?
Danny White.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Danny heard that I had left Walsham and contacted me.
Yes.
He was already talking to one of my best friends, Tanner Cole. I don't know whether that's where he heard I'd left Walsham from or not, but we went over and joined at the same time, and I took Nathan Clark with me.
Of course, you've got to do these things. Take your mates with you to join the next club.
My mate, and also my long-term centre-half partner as well. So we kind of came as a pair, I think.
And of course, you got Tanner playing up front as well with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, it all start. When I was watching Thetford Town back in, because I've only been going for a couple of years. I think as I was speaking to Bondi on the last podcast, my first game was in 2017, I think, against Great Yarmouth, and it was a home game. So the brother-in-law told me about Thetford who were playing. Do you want to go? I thought, yeah, why not? Because being a Ipswich Town fan, I don't go to many of the games at the moment because of being in Thetford and, of course, working 2 jobs and everything else. I'm thinking, why not? It's only down the road. It's only 5 minutes away from me. So why not have a go? And I kind of enjoyed it. And I think we won 4-2 at the end of the game. I think Ross Bailey actually scored 2 goals in that game as well. So
Well, that must be a rarity.
Something like that, yeah. So, but then I kind of fell in love with the non-league game. I thought, for me, for only paying £6 to go and watch a team just down the road, because I haven't gone into non-league since I finished playing probably about 10 years ago. I just thought to myself, oh, why not just go down, support the team, see what they're like, and yeah, it was great. I thought, and of course, win 4-2, and then I went the next week as well, which is the Saturday. We played Coddershall United, who actually went up that season, and we won again 3-2. So it's like, why go?
So that, I believe, was my first season.
Was it really? Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you were actually playing centre back, and you got Bondi next to you.
Blonde hair.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, yeah, you did. Yeah. So so I thought to myself, oh, I'll just come and support you guys, really, and because it's only down the road for me, 5 minutes walking, whatever. I thought to myself, well, why not go and support you guys, really?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yeah. So then it all then come about doing like the podcast, what we're doing now, and of course doing the highlights as well, which is good. And I've just thought to myself, well, why not just do all about it? So, which is good.
Yeah, I think at times like this as well, it's great for people to look back on some of those memories that are being reshared now that they don't get that football fix on a weekly basis.
Exactly, because on Monday I think we would have been playing Thetford Town away, and I would have actually gone to the game, and a bit disappointed that the league is now finished, but never mind. We'll get onto that shortly. But I was just wondering, with doing Thetford Town, playing for Thetford Town, how did Gym United come about?
Right, so now we are going back. So basically, there was a team that a few of my mates played for on a Sunday when I was a kid called Abbott's.
Right.
And a few of my kind of childhood friends had started to play for them at a very young age, just their first taste of adult football, like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And a few of our older mates who were kind of mid-20s, early 20s, were playing for that side. And they were pretty good, but they were a newly formed side. Started in Division 4 of Sunday, got a promotion into Division 3, and then I agreed to join them and just play. I think I said I'd play when I could, but I ended up playing all the time. Right. It was a good laugh, really close group. More and more of our kind of childhood friends kind of joined that. Got promoted to Division 2, got promoted to Division 1.
Yeah.
And I think it was when I was about 18 or 19, that team, who was then called Bushell because they were sponsored by the Bushell Pub in Bury St Edmunds, had a bit of a challenge with getting players to commit, kind of toying with relegation, and potentially going to disband because of it.
Right.
But quite a few of the players wanted to keep going, and everyone was asking me whether I would take over. Yeah. So I thought about it for a while, and then I just kind of got everyone together and I said, no, I'll do it, but only on the basis that we do it properly. Yeah. Everyone takes it seriously. Yes. We get good commitment, and we see if we can actually achieve something. And what I wanted to do was kind of set my sights on breaking all the records that existed in Sunday football. So we set some targets. We created a brand and a new image for the club, which was where Gym United came from. Okay. Logos, colour schemes, kits, culture, all that type of stuff. Signed a few extra players, brought a few more of those childhood friends into it.
As you do, yeah.
And then, spent the next 10 years going from strength to strength and dominating, winning everything along the way. The only thing we didn't win was the National Cup, but we got bloody close.
You certainly did, you certainly did.
Yeah, that was a probably, I would say, the most enjoyable run of football I've ever had in my life, to be honest. That was incredible.
I bet it was, especially going to the final. Was it at Sheffield United, Bramall Lane?
It was, yeah.
So how was that day for you anyway, as being like the owner of Gym United and the manager of Gym United? How was that for you?
There was a lot of different emotions, I think. I was so focused on actually being able to win and pick up that trophy. I don't really think I enjoyed the experience as much as I would have done if I was just a player.
Right, okay.
However, I do remember feeling incredibly proud
Yes.
of just the fact that we'd got there. And I remember looking around the changing room, the home changing room, which we were in at Bramwell Lane, and seeing everybody kind of joking around, smiling, happy, a bit in awe of where they were and what they were about to do.
Yeah.
It was incredible, really. And then I remember that kind of horrible feeling afterwards when you're watching the other team pick the trophy up. And I do remember thinking, that's got to be us next year. That, we've got to kick on and do that and go one better. Unfortunately, we didn't. But I think you just look back now and think I actually look at the other games, not so much the final, but every step along the way to getting to that final and something that happened in that game. There was always in every game some moment of madness or sheer brilliance that just dragged us through, whether it be a crucial block or an amazing tackle or a 30-yard screamer, a penalty being awarded, a red card, for somebody. It was just because that team was just an incredible team. Not just quality, but its mentality was. We really did create something special because we played sides that all along the way, beating sides that were as good or better than you'd be meeting in the Vars. In fact, the team that we played in the final, it took them some extra time to actually score and beat us.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
9 out of the starting 11 in their team were playing at Wembley 2 weeks later in the FA Vars.
That's amazing.
It was, and for us, I watched that final. It was on BT Sport at Wembley 2 weeks later, and I remember sat in my living room watching it, thinking, he played, counting them all up and just watching them play against this side in the Vars final, thinking, God, we matched these boys in so many areas for so long.
Definitely.
And it just made me really proud. And I think what it showed is how good that team was and how good the players in that team were to be able to not only reach the final but then compete with a side of that quality at that level. And then you compare it to the same standard that we play on a Saturday. Yeah, definitely. And it almost then frustrated me that at Thetford we weren't able to compete past 1 or 2 rounds in the Vars because we've done that on a Sunday and got all the way to that level against a team that got to the Vars final and had won it already.
Yeah.
So that kind of got another train of thought, thinking, why can't we do that on a Saturday? Why can't we put that kind of run together in the Vars?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Hopefully for the coming season with Thetford, you just don't know, do you?
You don't.
You just don't know. But it sounds like with Jim United, you had like that, that bond for every single player playing for you. That's what you wanted at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm a great believer that any team needs more than just good football players. If you're going to achieve things, unless you're so much better ability-wise than the standard you're playing at, you need a level of commitment, passion, and organisation to be able to dominate, to be able to, to pick up silverware and to pick up trophies. And what I can say about Jim United is that doing it at local level, I think like in the local Sunday league, for example, our ability was significantly higher than a lot of other teams anyway, where we could get away with having the odd off day. Yeah, I can see. Years.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think then as you go through to other competitions, so the County Cup, there were a couple of sides that we knew that we had to be at a certain level at, otherwise we wouldn't.
Yeah.
And the National Cup, you could not have an off game.
No.
I think we only had one easy game in that whole competition in 4 years of entering it, and ironically that was a home game that we played at Thetford.
Oh, right, okay.
In the end. But other than that, it was just a hugely high standard. And the only reason that I would go as far as to say that every team that we played en route to the final that year was on paper, as good as us maybe in terms of technical ability. But that just makes me prouder because it goes to show that it's that team spirit, that togetherness, that willingness to put your body on the line, to run that extra a few feet to make that block, to make that tackle. That's really that spirit, that togetherness is what got us to that final.
Exactly,
and what stopped Hardwick breaking down.
Sorry, I lost you there.
I just said that's also what stopped Hardwick breaking us down.
Right. Okay.
For 90 minutes as well.
Well, you done incredible well with the team you had at Gym United, getting to that final and winning all those trophies. Hands down to you. You've done a really good job, and the players as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, but then unfortunately, it all has to come to an end, doesn't it? For Gym United, because other bits and pieces, going on in people's lives.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of many factors, but every good thing comes to an end, as they say.
Yeah.
We've had a decade of dominance, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But bodies are getting slightly older.
Yeah.
Wives and girlfriends have crept in more and more with more players.
Yes. Yeah.
Some of them have started having children.
Yeah.
And I think it gets to a stage where can we play Saturdays and Sundays anymore? Some of the older players. Do I have the time now managing Thetford to manage Gym United, run a business, which is a startup technology business?
Exactly, yeah.
And manage Gym United and Thetford as well. And so something maybe has to give.
Yeah.
I just think there's a balance in life, and it gets to a point where the last season that we had showed it. Yes, we're actually still in 2 semi-finals and a final. As the season drew to a close, but we probably would not have won the league. I would say we were almost certainly not going to. Would have taken a bit of a miracle comeback, and two other teams,
exactly.
Brandon and Morton Hall Ferrell's falling away. So that's just really because of the consistency that we could deliver. You couldn't say from one week to the next whether Gym United would have a good squad of players and numbers available, or whether we'd be fielding 9 players to try and play a game of football. And I think when you get to that stage, you have 2 choices. You either have to go again and regroup and sign some more bodies, or you have to, wave the white flag and say, do you know what, let's go out on a high.
Definitely, yeah.
And focus on other things. And I think with Jim, the continuity was always that there's a core group of players there that have grown up together, that are childhood friends, and that's the reason we do it. When you start having to go and bring in lots and lots of different people that are not part of that group, you lose that togetherness, that culture, and the reason that you started just for the sake of carrying on winning trophies, and that isn't the underlying reason why we started. So, it's the right decision. It's very sad. I mean, especially now, the way that the season ended, and people are posting memories of what we've done and everything. I do look at it on social media, and Jack Brain's been quite active in posting some stuff recently, and you do look at them and you think, what a great memory and what a great time we had. And it is sad. It does make you a bit nostalgic, and I'll admit that it's made me a couple of times think, do you know what, am I being hasty? Do we go again?
Exactly.
But I think sometimes you just gotta know what's best, and I think that's the best decision.
Well, for me, you've got that book now kind of closed, but then you've got a new chapter now starting up with Thetford Town, because going from last season, which is now unfortunately void, starting with Danny White, and of course you were the joint manager with Danny. The pre-season, I thought the pre-season was pretty good. I know there's a few dodgy results going on, but it's pre-season, isn't it? So, you and Danny brought in players to suit the team, to build them, and then of course you played your old club to start with, which is Walsham, and had a good 2-1 win, and then it kind of fell apart, shall we say?
It did. Yeah, football's a funny game. I guess Dan brought me in originally as a player.
Yes.
And then the second season, he wanted me to be part of the management team. So I think I was just part of the staff with Jay, really. So me and Jay were assistants to Danny. Danny was the manager. But Dan was quite an open manager. He liked to talk to all of his team and get opinions in. And for whatever reason, everything looked like it should work on paper, and good set of players, good staff, good chairman and committee.
Definitely, yeah.
And like you say, a half decent pre-season.
Mm.
And a good start opening day with a win. But from there on, things happened and it didn't go according to plan. And I think Dan would say himself, if you were talking to him, that it got to a stage where he just ran out of answers, and I think he started to, towards the end of that bad run, think, is it me, and even question that. I don't think it was.
No.
For the record, but it's just one of those things, and he took the decision to resign.
Yes.
I think he felt the burden of the results and felt a certain amount of responsibility for that, and decided that, I'm sure he did it for the interest of the club to get back into a stronger position and have a fresh voice or a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh start, really. But I think that you've got his reign as manager and think what a great job he did. I think
definitely.
People are quite quick to look at how it ended, maybe, and forget the rest of it. But I would always say that before me coming to Thetford, if you had have said to me a year before that I would be joining Thetford, I would have said to you, I don't think you're sober. That's not going to happen. For me, they were a team that always fought relegation. I mean, they've got a great catchment area and great support. But,
definitely.
It was a team that just seemed to always be in the relegation zone and either get a reprieve or go down and then come back up again the next season or the season after. Yeah. And Danny really changed that.
He certainly did, yeah.
And I know they had Cameron King. People keep pointing to it, but it takes more than one player.
Exactly,
to make a football team, and
right.
I think they did an incredible job, the players and Danny and Jay, and getting Thetford to finish. What was it, 7th?
Yeah, 7th. 7th just before you joined, and then I thought because we got into 2 finals as well, didn't we? Because
we did.
So we played. I think it was Brantham. The season before we played them at this town. Unfortunately, we lost that one 4-2, and then we got into the Norfolk Cup final as well, which is the last season when we played when we played Dereham Town. And of course, Dereham Town, quite higher than we are. I thought we'd done pretty well, especially with the semi-final. I know it went into extra time, but it had a good crowd for the semi-final and for the final. I think we had 1,000 people. I think it was 1,000 people. It's unbelievable. And which I actually
does make a difference. I remember playing that game at Carroll Road and hearing all of our fans and seeing them in the crowds. They were loud. They were probably our 12th man. So
exactly, yeah, and
it definitely makes a difference. Definitely appreciate it. I think the finals were very different.
Yeah,
Brantham. I thought on paper we should have won the game and we should have been confident going into that final.
Yeah, underperformed
massively and got what we deserved. I mean, I will say this, hopefully it doesn't get me an FA fine because it's technically out of season, but the referee was appalling that day. And she gave everything the way of the opposition. I'm sure not because she was biased, just coincidence that everything that she got went in their favour, but that didn't help. But we were not at the races, and Brantham fully deserved to beat us, which is disappointing because then you fast forward to the Norfolk Senior Cup final. We're playing Dereham, who are heavy favourites on paper.
Oh, definitely.
Playing at a higher level, great team, great players.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought we were the better side in the final. We should have won the game. There was a goal disallowed for offside that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And it was incredibly frustrating, but it's interesting. Same result. We lost to both finals, but very different circumstances, different opposition, different reasons. And if you review that period again, what you just said and what I said, so Danny White's taken a relegation fighting club to a 7th place finish, an 8th place finish, and 2 cup finals in a 3-year period.
Exactly.
And all credit to him and the players that he had, some of which are obviously still with us. For that.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially with, I know Volta's not here anymore. You got Calvin not here with us anymore. But those 2 players, they were pretty good. Of course, all the other team players as well, they were really good. You had a strong back 4 with the goalkeeper as well. I know we got Jamie Humphrey now, our young goalkeeper, and I thought he had quite a good season, really. And there's a few mistakes that he said to it on social media that it was his fault, but I said, well, you can't, because you're the goalkeeper. If you make a mistake, it's it happens. You're always going to cost the goal, but I think he's done quite well after he's come in from pre-season this season. I just thought he's grown and grown and grown.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young goalkeeper, and he's not the biggest in physical stature either. So I think with that situation, you're always going to have mistakes at times. You're always going to have experience that's going to help with that.
Yeah.
He'll only get better.
Definitely.
And, I certainly think he made a great start when I threw him in at the deep end.
You did, yeah.
And you could call it a good way of getting experience, but I think Jamie's naturally he's a very good shot stopper. He's got good reflexes, and the other parts of his game will come with confidence and experience. And I think last season it would have been nice for him if we had alternative options to be able to take him out of the firing line every so often and give him a bit of breathing space, give him someone to learn from.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that luxury.
No, unfortunately not.
He just had to carry on going with it, whether he was confident or not at the time. But fair play to him, he did.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He certainly made more saves than mistakes, that's for sure.
Exactly. He saved a few penalties as well, which is over the season. Incredible saves what he's done. So yeah, but there you go. I know the season's now finished, but I think he will grow and grow and grow for the coming seasons. So good luck to him. But the back four, the back five, it was kind of it was always the same back five players last season. I thought it was quite good that to have those players playing every single week is good, which we need.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only things that made us make changes in those areas were Nathan Clark's injury.
Yes.
We had to manage that. So with his hernia, if he's feeling it, then he probably can't play or had to come off if it came out during a game. And then Luke Bailey picked up a couple of injuries as well, but I guess because their injuries were at similar times, it was one or the other.
Yeah.
And Bondi travelling back from London and that commitment put him at right back almost every time. And, and Andrew Cusack as well, obviously the opposite flank. So yeah.
And of course, with yourself and Clarkey in the middle and Bailey as well. I think that you've got a strong 5 or 6 players there, which is good. And of course, you've got the midfield. I think Bradley's been playing pretty well. I know with the pre-season he was scoring for fun, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a very good season the season before. He had a very good pre-season. He had a quiet season by those standards last year.
Yeah.
But Brad's got a lot of ability. Again, he's young. He's very timid. He needs to get a bit more aggressive and assertive. And I think if he had that bite, he can certainly go on and be one of the first names on the team sheet if he really wants to be.
Exactly. Well, going back on the videos, what I took, and of course you've got the guys doing Joe and Kevin doing your YouTube channel as well. And going back on those footage, it's like he's getting 2,000 to 3,000 views every single time on the pre-season goals. What he scored. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't know, but I've seen the goal, but I didn't see how many times it had been viewed. But I mean, 1,900 of them are probably him.
Yeah,
if I scored a goal like that, I would.
Probably, yeah.
I think you'll struggle to find any video footage of a goal like that from me, though. So.
But you're right with Bradley, and of course you had Liam as well on the other flank. He come in and done quite well for. Was it Thetford Rovers he signed for?
Yeah, so Danny actually signed Hemo from, I think it was Rovers. A very raw player, very, very crafty, quick, agile player. Yeah. Definitely provides something different, but he didn't stay for particularly long. I think he left.
Right, okay.
While Danny was still around, and when the club asked me if I'd take over, he was... I think he was actually the first person I reached out to. It was either him or Tanner. But I definitely wanted to get him back at the club. I saw something in him that I thought was very special.
definitely.
And he's proved me right
Yeah.
since he's been back. Whenever he's been fit, anyway. I know he's had a couple of back injuries and he had a knee injury, I think, as well. But when he's been available, my God, does he cause problems? So,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. He was amazing as well. So going back to your first game as manager for Thetford against your old club Walsham, what was that feeling like going back to your old team as the Thetford manager?
You couldn't write it, could you?
You couldn't, could you?
I mean, the amount of circumstances around that fixture was incredible. My old club captain there was there for a decade. And also the only other team that we'd beaten that season.
Yep.
Danny's season started with the Walsham game.
Yep.
My reign started with the return fixture.
Yep.
So, yeah, and both clubs under pressure.
Yeah,
and
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
It's an interesting one because I was quite ruthless about it. I mean, I'll always have affection for Walsham.
Yes.
And I would always want them to do as well as possible, providing it's not quite as well as us. So I certainly didn't want to put them under more pressure, but if it's them or us, then it has to be them, I'm afraid. So I needed to make sure that we won that game.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It certainly didn't get off to the best of starts with us going one behind. But ironically, until we conceded the goal, I thought we were the better side. We conceded the goal.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, part of the problem in that run-up of losses until that first game in charge for me, there was a consistent habit of when something would go wrong, heads would drop, the towel would get thrown in, and the floodgates would open.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure that wasn't the case again.
No.
So I couldn't have been more pleased with the reaction after that, because actually we went behind.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Twice. And I think us coming back and winning that game just showed the mentality change as well, almost before our eyes.
Yep.
You went back a week, we'd have probably lost that game 2-3, 4-0.
Yes. Yeah.
But now, all of a sudden, the players fought back. They knew how important it was, and everyone, when the final whistle went, was gasping for breath because of how much energy and effort they put into winning that game. And that's what I said to them afterwards. That's the standard that we have to have every week. And if we do, we'll be fine. And if we don't, we'll be back where we were. Yeah. And I think for the next 15 games, we only lost twice.
Exactly, yeah. Because I was actually at the Walsham game, and I thought, this could go completely wrong or completely right for you. But they actually, the players stuck in with you, dug in well, and they got the 3 points.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you went on to that massive run of only losing 2 games, and then, of course, the season ended against Ely City, and Ely City was another 6-pointer game, really. After being 2-0 down, I think it was, and then
half-time.
Yeah, 2-0, and then of course you got Johnny Conway's goal just before half time, I think it was, and then
yes, correct, yeah.
And then Matt scoring from the corner, and then of course your old friend Tanner scoring the winner,
absolutely,
right at the death, and that was incredible. For me being being there and recording the highlights for it, it's good to see that the fighting spirit, and it was there to see.
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone knew how big that game was. It was disappointing for us to have gone 2-0 down. It was a game that on paper we should win, and we knew it. It was a game that on paper we had to win to give ourselves some breathing space.
Definitely.
And I don't know, but obviously there was a one complete wonder goal.
Yes.
But also a mistake again. Which led to us going 1-0 down, I think, in the first place. Yeah. But when the second goal goes in and it's a strike of that quality from that far out, I think players are forgiven for thinking, here we go again. Yeah. It's just going against us. But they didn't, and Johnny also hit a decent strike.
He certainly did. Yeah.
To get us within a goal just before half time.
Yep.
There was a few. But it was a very heated dressing room at half-time. Let me just...
I bet it was.
And I certainly won't apologise for anything that I said. But fair play to the players. At the second half, they went out there and they delivered. And I think
definitely.
We fully deserved the win.
Oh, definitely.
It should have been more. We completely dominated the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone did their job.
Yes.
Not only the starting 11, but actually all the subs that came on as well. And it's nice to see the characteristic of the third goal. I think showed the desire. Their free kick. We win the header to clear it out, chase that header all the way up the line, block what would have been a clearance to then play Woody down the line. Woody then sensibly gives it to Tanner rather than me. And Tanner does what he does, and that counter attack, that desire, that cool finish from him, and the reaction that you saw from the players. I think you can see it on the recording. Everybody running off with delight. That's what. It's a shame that the season ended there in a way, but also it's a nice way for the season for us to finish on a high. But I do think that would have sparked us off again onto another little run, because there certainly seems to be a bit of a shift.
Oh, yeah.
Back towards that belief and momentum for us afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry about the screaming in the background of that goal as well. I think that was me. You probably heard me screaming in the background. So, of course, you got the Thetford fans next to me as well on the left as well. So it was a kind of a good way to round off the season from that point. But
never apologise for cheering a Thetford goal.
Yeah. most of the recordings you probably get is probably me cheering, but never mind. But no, it was good to see the 3 good goals. I know Harry French, the wonder goal for Ely City was kind of a blinder. He did hit that quite well, and then but it was good to see that you guys the bond, the attitude. It was good to see. Definitely good to see.
Always is. I think in hindsight, you look back at those and you think they're the best ways to win.
Yeah.
At the time, you'd prefer a comfortable 2 or 3-0 win, but
definitely. Yeah. But unfortunately, now the season exactly. But unfortunately, now the season is now ended, and we can now look forward to the next season. And I was just wondering, what plans have you got for next season? Really?
Oh, a very good question. I can't obviously reveal too much.
No, that's fine. I understand that.
This is going to go out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've already had an internal meeting video meeting with the management.
Yep.
Discussing formations, tactics, players that we've identified that we want to bring in, and obviously key players that are a crucial part of that system that we want to play, and the plans for next season.
Okay.
For me, I just want to get to a place where everybody internally knows what we're doing upon match day, knows what their role within the team is. We've got a good level of organisation, and to create that culture that I think we did create in 2 different spells, although we lost it for a few games in between last season, which is the culture I was talking about with Jim United before.
Definitely.
That winning mentality, never know when you're beaten, never give up.
Yeah.
And fight as hard for your teammate as you do for yourself. If we can create that culture and everyone buys into it, you can get away with off days in terms of ability. You can get away with a lot more than you can without it. So that is the plan. Be very organised. Have a system, play to that system, make sure everyone's clear on their roles, slightly improve personnel, but we don't need to do too much. I've identified a handful of players that I want to talk to about potentially joining in a couple of areas. But also the majority of the side is crucial that we keep as well, because they're a big part of that plan for next season.
Definitely. Well, I look forward to doing that. So that'd be quite good to go and see for next season. Hopefully it will be in July, August time where it all kicks off again, which will be good.
Yeah, I hope so. A bit of normality.
Hopefully. I've just got a few little questions for you, really. I know we're now getting the under 18 team coming into Thetford, because we've got quite a good team selection now, haven't we? Because we've got the academy just down the road for schools and stuff. We've got the youth team. We've got, as I say, the under 18s hopefully going to be accepted. Of course, you've got the reserves. You've got the first team, and you've got the veteran team. It's kind of Thetford are going in the right direction. Of course, the ladies team. Yeah, definitely. I think they're going to be doing an under 16 team as well. I think so.
Right.
So that's going to be pretty pretty good for the team for the club going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that obviously it brings more fans, it brings more exposure, it brings more people connected to the club, and improves the connection with the local people in the local area. So definitely a good thing. I think certainly from the first team and the progressions perspective, having an under-18s bridges that gap from the other youth teams into the adult football, and I think also the under-18s, some of their promising players can look to have the odd game for the reserves and the first team, that experience of being in and around that, and also testing themselves in that environment at that level as well. So it should be win-wins for everybody, really.
Exactly, it'd be really good. I was just wondering, what do you think of the social media going out with, like, of course, the YouTube channel with Kevin and I say Joe before. You got myself. You got also you've got Woodpecker TV, Brantford Athletic are doing a few bits now. What do you think about it?
I think it's becoming more normal.
Yep.
I think that you go back a few years and you might have one or two doing it, but that's it.
Yeah.
You go back 3 or 4 years and you would have had nobody doing it. Really.
True. No, you had no one.
So it's definitely cottoned on and become more normal. People like to do it. I think there's two sides to it, isn't there? I guess from a manager's point of view, part of you doesn't like it because it shows how you play. It shows your strengths. It shows your weaknesses. It shows your players to other teams if they want to go and review that and potentially try and make approaches for your players. Or review your system and your style of play and try and expose that if they're playing against you. So from a tactical and managerial perspective, it's not always ideal. However, it's part of the game, and also it actually aids us as well, because we can look back on those matches and we can analyse our own performances and see what we need to change, where we need to improve, and we can sit with players, which we haven't done enough of, but hopefully we'll look to do more of this, where we can sit with players and say, certain phases of the game, certain situations, what they should have done versus what they actually did, or what they did brilliantly, which we want to see more of. So I think that there are pros and cons to it. I think from a spectator's point of view and from a player's point of view, it's brilliant, because you'll look back on these memories that are now recorded, for years, and say, there's that footage of the goal I scored here, or the tackle I made there, or when we won this or when we won that. And I think that from that perspective, it's great for exposure. It's great for, I've got no doubt that people's gates will go up off the back of people seeing clips on social media where they may not have been aware about their local club or what they were doing, or how exciting it can be, or how interesting it can be, or how entertaining it can be. So I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and the only cons are, as I said, sometimes you reveal some of your I don't know about secrets, but some of your tactics, some of your IP to your opponents and potential opponents. But that's just the way that it is.
Well, hopefully we can. Hopefully I can do some more for you. Of course, you got the YouTube channel going on it as well. So hopefully we can keep on going.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I think certainly the spectators love it, and the ones that can't make games, really enjoy seeing a lot of that footage as well.
Exactly. I did have one person say to me when we were doing the Thetford and Mattlesham semi-final in the Norfolk Cup, they said to me, because they were on holiday, I actually live streamed it, and they actually thanked me for doing it. So it does come off quite well, which is quite good.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. It's all good fun. That's basically, Matt. I thank you very much for joining me for today. I really appreciate your time. We're nearly going for about an hour now, which has been pretty good. I just want to thank you, and thank you for joining me on the podcast.
No problem at all. Thanks very much for all your work, and keep it going.
Thank you very much. For the listeners here, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now.